Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. Thank you so much for joining me and Tyson again, and I really appreciate you being here and for subscribing if you haven't done so yet. Recently, I was thinking about life in Monaco and how on the one hand, it's so great to see all of these new developments basically just shoot up from the ground to the sky in no time. But on the other hand, that takes away a little bit from the glitz and glamour that you expect Monaco still to have from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. So that got me thinking, what was life like on the French Riviera in the past in general? I mean, what about the 14th century, 15th century, 16th century, medieval times? What was it like to live here during those ages? So I've decided to do a little bit of an experiment. With a click of a finger, I'm gonna see if I can go back to the medieval times in the south of France. Huh, what do you know? That worked. I have found myself in Saint-Paul-de-Vence, which is one of the most touristy medieval villages in south of France normally. Except during COVID, it looks completely empty. Tyson isn't here with me, but do you know what? That's probably because he doesn't have opposable thumbs, so didn't think that one through. But anyway, I'm ready to go explore. Are you? This is what one of the busiest and most touristy places on the French Riviera looks like during COVID. There is virtually no one. I think I've seen about 2 people since we got here, and this is probably the only time that it will ever be like this. Saint-Paul-de-Vence is synonymous with art, with very famous artists like Chagall and Picasso having been very interested in this location. And it seems to me that I have found the single most interesting sculpture in the entire place. Not only is this my most flattering angle, but it's also a great way to show you this 14th century church, which is the highest point in the whole village. I snuck in illegally. I'm not really supposed to be here because the hotel is closed now, but I am inside La Colombe d'Or, which was a cafe where all the famous artists that used to come here to Saint-Paul-de-Vence used to go out for coffee, and now it's been turned into a hotel. Look at this. What I'm noticing here is that this little village is really well preserved. So you don't have any graffiti, you don't have any litter, and to me that just shows that the people living here are so dedicated, and you can even see it in the way they interact, in the way that even when there's nobody around, they're still dedicated to opening their shops and running their businesses and continuing life as normal, and I think that's really admirable. This place used to be a fortified village back in the 16th century, and you can still see remains of that with these walls going around. And if you join me over here, there's actually a really stunning view right on the edge. Come on. I'm walking along the outer walls now, which is really fun to do because you get to see this view from one side and then the tiny little streets on the other side. And what I'm starting to realize is how small Saint-Paul-de-Vence actually is. So it's 300 meters by 100 meters, which means that it's roughly a 10th the size of Monaco. If you know the French, you know that they love the game pétanque. And under me, you've got a very famous pétanque pitch, which holds a big tournament every year. From Saint-Paul-de-Vence, I have decided to take a little detour and to come here to Tourrettes-sur-Loup, which is another medieval village dating back from around the 15th century. This place is mostly famous these days for the violet flower, which has been growing here for 100 years and which has its own festival every March. The local people are called the Tourettes, but I haven't seen any at all today, clearly because once again, we're the only people here. Just our luck. I have to say, I love exploring little medieval villages. It just feels like you're going back in time and you're seeing that history as authentic as you possibly can these days. But unfortunately, I'm starting to really miss Tyson, so it might be time to go home. Hi, Ty! Hi, my boy! I missed you! Alright, thank you so much for sticking around, you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.